Now today it was a disappointing day for the Leitrim footballers as they saw their attempts to stay in Division 3 of the league foiled by probably two goals from Tipperary that killed the game off, particularly the second one. I'm joined by manager of the team, Terry Hyland, to have a chat with us about the game this afternoon. Terry, you must be very disappointed at this stage after those survival hopes came to naught today.
Yes, look, we are. I'm gutted for the lads, to be honest with you. I thought that we have improved an awful lot from where we were at the start of the year. Of course, today probably wasn't the defining game in the league. I think the games we lost earlier on, and possibly the one against Offaly, is the one that really got us into the problem where we're in. I thought that we played quite well against Louth. I felt that if the league had continued at that stage, we were in a good place. And, you know, we had a restart all over again, and the restart wasn't probably the ideal restart for us.
In terms of the squad coming together, missing 3 or 4 players today because of COVID regulations, how much of a hamstring injury is that before you even start?
Well, look, it disrupts things, and I know other teams will be in the same scenario. Like, I mean, we probably took a lot of flack last week on account of the down game by not travelling up. But we felt we were being prudent in what we'd done. We felt it was the right thing to do at the time, and it is still the right thing. You know, we were waiting on the results to come back and different things. And as it transpired, I suppose the result didn't really matter. We had went up and bet down. We still had to beat Tipperary today. So, you know, from that point of view, it wasn't the defining game. It would have been nice for us to go up and get a game under our belt. And perhaps in the first 15, 20 minutes of the day, that showed on us. But I felt after that, I thought we controlled the game for most parts. We were unfortunate to concede that goal in the second half when we seemed to have got a little bit of dominance and a little bit of control on the game, and maybe our game management at that stage probably wasn't as good as it should have been.
Yeah, in terms of, I suppose, the game today, Leitrim tit for tat in the first half until they got that goal, and kind of a repeat in the second. Leitrim really came back into it. That third quarter, they really dominated that game, held a 2-point lead at one stage. Before Tipperary just came back, and as you mentioned, that goal kind of killed off the challenge. The Leitrim never dropped their heads though, and even though they knew they had that 6-point margin, not just a victory, but a 6-point margin to ensure survival, they never seemed to drop their heads, and they were fighting till the last minute.
Well, that's true, and you see, that's again goes back to the honesty factor, and I suppose it's something that all the management teams I've been involved in, I always ask our players to be as honest as you possibly can. You may not be as good as the opposition on some cases, and that's it. That's just a fact of life. But that doesn't mean that you can't be honest and you can't work hard. And the work ethic of the Leitrim team today was excellent, I thought, especially in the second half.
I don't want to draw you out on the referee too much, but 2 black cards. Any issue, one on either side in the closing minutes in extra time? Any thoughts on those? Well,
look, there were 2 yellow cards probably prior to that could have been black cards. That's game management on Tipperary's behalf. They, you know what I mean. They stalled the game. They took the momentum out of it as when we were pushing at them. And I mean, in the end of the day, it's a referee's call. I can say there were black cards instead of yellow cards, and he can argue the point. And you know, we know who's going to win the argument.
Referee always wins that argument. In terms of the next 6 days, and that's all we have ahead of the Mayo challenge, what's required now to turn this group around and refocus the minds on that Connacht Championship game next weekend?
Look, to be fair, the lads will go home. They'll be disappointed tonight, and perhaps tomorrow they'll realise where they're at. But then next Sunday gives them an opportunity again to show that honesty factor, and again to show that fighting and battling qualities. You don't give up, because if you want to progress in life, never mind sport, you have to show that battling quality, and they have to learn to build upon that. And you know, that's what we'll be talking about this week. We'll be asking every lad to stand up and win his own personal battles. If you win your personal battle, then the team starts to win, and that's where we want to be. You know, in an earlier interview this evening, I was asked about Mayo coming. Mayo was going to come as massive favourites to Pairc Sean next weekend, and rightly so, because although they got relegated today, but there's still a lot of people's in the top 4 to win in All-Ireland. So, you know, I mean, we are not at that level, but we are at a level where we can compete, and we are at a level where we can be honest. And if we can do that for 75 minutes of football, you never know what the result is at the end of it.
In terms of, I suppose, the realistic outcome from next weekend, what will be deemed successful by Leitrim standards? Like, is it about staying with them? Is it about winning the game? Is it about just putting out that impressive performance that really lifts spirits going back into that suppose, league challenge next year and a push again to get promoted back to where Leitrim have probably proven they're good enough to be on most days this season in Division 3 of the National Football League?
Well, I suppose, again, we have to get away from the moral victory side of things. You know what I mean? Going out and moral victories kick you so far. And, you know, we had them in the FPD, we've had them in different matches, and, you know, we haven't taken the points in league matches when we should have, and we haven't maybe pushed on in some of them bigger games. How would it go for Leitrim? It'd be great for Leitrim to win. That's what they should be striving for. That should be what they strive for every time they go out. And, you know, Mayo game gives them an opportunity to do that. In the end of the day, whoever plays the best on the day would win the match, and hopefully we can be that better team.
Today, I suppose, the first day you've had in competitive fare of the new COVID regulations and the restrictions that's imposed on players. How have you found it as a manager? Has it been a distraction? Has it really affected anything in terms of the build-up and the day itself today?
I suppose the 15-minute time constraint in your dressing rooms and keeping numbers down under 15 does cause issues, because you're splitting your squad in two, and to me, it's not the ethos of a team game. We look to have squads. We talk as much about the guys that's not playing as the guys are playing, because if you haven't got them lads to push on, or you haven't got them fellas to come on, it's not really a team game. And, you know, it is difficult from that point of view. And the exclusion of maybe 4 or 5 guys who could not tug out the day, and that basically told, well, look, lads, sorry, you're not part of the party today. And, you know, they're the tough parts of it. You know, everything else you can get over, you know, and your warm-ups and your video analysis and all that, you can get over that. You can shorten things down and trim them down to suit it. And, you know, from that point of view, we just get on with it.
Yeah, well, listen, hard luck today, but congratulations on a fine performance. I know we don't like talking about moral victories, but it was a fairly good performance today from a Leitrim team that a lot of people would have assumed were down in the dumps, given the results for this season. And hopefully we can put up a good show against Mayo next week, and you never know, maybe a little surprise or two in store in Pairc Sean next Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, well, maybe Christmas will come early.
Terry, thanks very much.
Thank you.